Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here for my Booktubeathon wrap-up video, which probably should have been filmed yesterday, but it was about 5,000 degrees outside, and I actually had my old trainer visiting, so it was just a day of talking and catching up. So I did not get to film yesterday, but today I'm filming. I am off work. It's like a mini vacation, and it's really exciting because guess what? I'm home during the daylight hours, and I could like shower, hence the wet hair, because it's hot. I don't feel like blow drying my hair. Long hair problems. But, okay, we're just gonna get into the wrap-up so that this video can be somewhat short. So, all in all, I read a little over 5 books, which is a significant amount of books to read in a week. I was trying for the goal of 7, but I did not quite make it there. That's totally fine, because 7 books is a ridiculous amount of books to read in a week. I completed, I believe, 5 of the challenges. Again, I read a little over 5 books, which was a grand total of 1,661 pages, so that's a fairly good chunk taken out of my TBR pile, so that was pretty cool, and I read some books that I have been meaning to get to, so this helped me along very well. The first book/challenge thing that I completed is I read Life of Pi, and then I watched the movie. This was way better than I expected it to be. For some reason, I had it in my mind that this was going to read like a classic just because it was always on reading lists in high school. It was not that at all. I thought it was going to be super metaphorical and super, I don't know, like symbolic and deep meaning and stuff, which it is, but it reads like a survival story, which was awesome, and I would never want to be stranded on a lifeboat with a Bengal tiger. But then we watched the movie, and the movie was amazing. Okay, as far as book-to-movie adaptations go, this is one of the best ones that I've ever seen. They literally left nothing out of the book. They did the entire story in chronological order, and they didn't add anything that was unnecessary. I was blown away. It was cinematically amazing. Like, there were certain scenes in this that I just wanted to, like, take a screenshot of and hang it on my wall because it was that beautiful. So, if you're looking to kind of knock off, like, a classic type story, definitely pick this one up. It's very easy to read. It was really interesting. So this was my book to movie adaptation challenge. So check. The next book that I picked up is a book that I have been wanting to reread for a very long time, and I finally used this as an excuse, and I read Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. This is a very, very short book that my mom used to read to me and my brother when we were little, and it's like mostly photography and pictures. But this is such a cool little life-affirming story. It shows you kind of the stages of learning about life and then accepting life and living life and then teaching others about life. It's just very wholesome and adorable, and I'm glad I reread this because I guarantee I did not take anything away from this when I was like 6 years old other than birdies, but this is just a great book. So this was my book that's older than you challenge, so check. The next book that I finished is The Outliers by Kimberly McCreet. I don't know what challenge this is falling in. This just happened to be an audiobook that I had checked out at the time, so it was just contributing to the readathon. I have had about a week to think about this book, and I still haven't really changed my opinion on it. It was not my cup of tea. It's a mystery, thriller, dark YA story about this girl whose best friend is kind of going off the deep end as far as like drinking and partying goes, and then she goes missing and gets in touch with her and the girl's boyfriend, and they kind of just take off and go to try and find her, and there's a lot of mysterious texts and weird things and weird people that they encounter that know who they are. So you're kind of being led along on this like suspenseful mystery road trip to get to this girl, and there is some underlying like mental illness topics that are kind of briefly touched on, which I appreciated, and there's some darker scientific topics that are touched on, which would have been cool if it were an adult book, I think, but I just personally didn't click with the story. I didn't really care for the characters that much. That's how I feel about that. The next book that I completed is With Love from the Inside, and this is by Angela Pissel. This is a book that I got through the First to Read program as a galley prior to its release date, which is a very cool program if you're interested in checking that out. But this is an adult contemporary story told between 2 perspectives of a mother and a daughter, both of which who are fully grown women. The mother is in prison on death row and was accused of murdering her infant son a long, long time ago. And the daughter is a daughter who kind of has fallen out of the family, completely moved on, and tried to rebuild her life completely separate from being associated with this, like, infant killer mother that she has the reputation of having. So it alternates perspectives between them. I also like that it alternated between first person for the mother's perspective and third person for the daughter's perspective. And it's just kind of about family and about acceptance and really heavy topics, obviously, and prison life and moving on and denial versus acceptance. It was just an amazing story. I have not cried like I cried at this book, and I didn't expect to connect to the characters as much as I did. The writing was just so good that in such a short amount of time, I was like bawling by the end of this book. It was just done so beautifully. This is my You Read After Sunset book because I had it as an e-galley on my phone, which I had to like zoom in with, so it wasn't very easy to read other than having my phone like right here in front of my face. And this is also my book with yellow on the cover. It's a gorgeous cover. That was a big part of why I requested it. So I loved this book. The next book that I got to is my book that I discovered through Booktube. And I'm saying this because if it weren't for Booktube, I probably never would have gotten my hands on a copy of this book for a very long time. But I was sent a copy of this book for review, so thank you Booktube, and thank you Simon & Schuster so much for sending this to me. And that is Gemini by Sonia Mukherjee? I still don't know how to say her name. I'm going to hold off my thoughts in this video. I'm actually going to immediately film a review video because this book just came out today, so if you're interested in hearing about this book or about my thoughts on this book, stay tuned for like an hour after this video uploads because I will be uploading my thoughts and review on this book. But this is a YA contemporary about conjoined twins, and it was amazing. So this is that challenge checked off. And the last book that I attempted to read, but I did not finish, is The Girl on the Train. I am listening to this on audiobook. I'm about like a third of the way through. I'm like 100 pages in. I am not understanding the hype of this book. I know this book has won so many awards and has been so overhyped in the past couple of years, especially through Booktube. And maybe I'm just not that into like adult mystery thrillers, but I am not feeling this book. I don't like when I don't connect with the main character on like a personal level, and right now she is just like a sad drunk woman, and I do not relate to that. So that's kind of why it took me a little bit to get as far as I did, so I didn't finish this one, but I mean, it's progress. There's progress happening on this book. So those are all the books that I got to in the readathon. I did not read 7 books, and I did not read the book by your favorite author. I just never got around to picking one up. So those were the only 2 challenges that I missed out on, and I think that's pretty okay. I think I did pretty good. I got through 5.5-ish type books, so that's a fairly reasonable amount to get through. So I hope you guys did really well at the Booktubeathon. I really had fun. I enjoyed the Instagram post because I also participated in that part. So that's gonna be it. I hope you guys are continuing to read some amazing books, and I'll see you guys in my next video.